Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking to you about one of the biggest misconceptions people have about happiness. And I'd like to explain to you a really interesting concept called the hedonic adaptation. So have you ever had a situation when you had certain goal, certain dream, right? Whether it's buying a house, going on that exotic holiday, maybe getting a promotion, setting up a business, making certain amounts of money. And deep inside you felt like, you know what? If I accomplish that goal, I'm gonna feel truly happy and it's gonna last. And the next thing you know, you end up getting there. You feel really exhilarated, you feel excited, but at some point you realize that your level of happiness is kind of gravitating back to what it used to be, all right? So that big house you managed to buy becomes your new normal. You were driving maybe some old car, now you got a Ferrari, and it felt great for the first couple of weeks, but now it becomes normal. You don't feel so excited anymore, but it's your normality and you want more and more and more. And basically, this is something that the concept of hedonic adaptation explains very well, because as humans, we have certain baseline of happiness, okay? So let's say that your happiness is here. This is your baseline level of happiness. If something really good happens to you, obviously you're gonna increase your level of happiness, but then after the event, you will gradually gravitate back towards this baseline. Now, similarly, if something really bad happens to you, for example, I don't know, you get sick, you break your leg, you lose a family member, you lose your job, you lose a bunch of money, whatever it is, right? In the moment, it may feel like the end of the world. So you drop here, right? You feel like, oh wow, it's never gonna be the same. I'm never gonna feel happy again. And what happens after a few weeks or after a few months? Well, you gradually drift back to the same baseline level of happiness. Now, I find this concept really fascinating because, many people don't get it, and because of that, they end up wasting so much of their lives chasing certain goal that they believe will make them happy forever. But that's not the case. Now, I have a goal setting course. I believe in setting goals. But I also believe in trying to derive as much pleasure and happiness while you're on your journey from what you are doing on a daily basis, all right? It's not just about that big goal you want to accomplish, but it's about enjoying the present moment. So many people make a mistake of feeling that if they only sacrifice some of the best years of their lives on working really hard trying to accomplish certain goal, and by the way, it's usually the financial goal, they feel like when they get to that holy grail, they will be happy. But it doesn't work like that. Happiness is cyclical. And actually Freud used to say, very, very interesting, he said, happiness comes from contrast. Now, if you ever had a cold shower after a hot day on the beach, or maybe a hot bath after a very cold day in the mountains, then you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you need contrast to appreciate certain things in life. When you are on the bus and you're starving and the bus will not stop for the next 7 hours, and then eventually you get back home and you get that sandwich, probably that sandwich will taste better than even the most delicious meal in a restaurant. And the reason is that you were hungry, you felt that pain, you experienced the contrast, and now you can really appreciate that basic sandwich. So the same thing applies to so many different realms of life. Now, how can you use this concept to make yourself more happy and to increase your baseline of happiness? Well, I think that one of the coolest things, one of the easiest things to do actually, is to toughen up a little bit, all right? Now, this is a Stoic concept. I really believe in Stoicism. And basically, Stoics used to say that it's not about what happens to you, but it's about what you make out of what happens to you. So it's never about the circumstances, but it's always about your response to the circumstances, right? So let's say that you lost your job, you can say to yourself, oh wow, my life is over, this is the end. Or you can pause and reflect and say to yourself, wait a second, this is how I feel in the moment, it's natural, but what are the benefits of this? Well, perhaps there are some hidden opportunities that I will be able to embrace as a result of this, all right? Now, for example, back in the day, I was broke. And I used to think, oh, this is so bad, this is so unfair, I'm broke. You know what? I'm very happy that I had that situation, because right now, I not only appreciate everything I have, all the money I make, but also I know that if I lost everything, I wouldn't mind. Yes, for the first week I would feel bad, but then afterwards I wouldn't mind. I would just kind of, feel content again because I've been there before. So I believe in the concept of toughening yourself up. So engineering certain situations that will make you feel uncomfortable on purpose. All right? It may seem a bit strange, so let me explain a little bit further. I remember back in the day, I had a situation where I was traveling around Southeast Asia, and one morning I woke up in a 5-star hotel. I went to the balcony, I looked at the beautiful view of Bangkok, and I said to myself, wow, I have everything I always wanted to have in my life. I'm making a lot of money, I have total freedom, my videos are selling like, fresh pastries. Life is going well. But I didn't feel truly happy. I realized that I felt miserable. And the question is, how come that you can have everything you always wanted to have and you feel miserable? And the answer was very simple, and it took me some time to arrive at the answer, at the solution. But I basically realized that because I've been, I had so much stimuli in my life, and I got all of those things I always wanted to have. I got used to them, and I stopped appreciating them, all right? I didn't have any contrast in my life. When you go to a 5-star hotel all the time, you don't appreciate it anymore. When you have delicious meals, 5 times a day, you stop thinking about the food. You stop feeling that gratitude. Oh my God, it's so awesome that I can eat this delicious meal. You stop thinking about it. I mean, how often do you stop and ponder, wow, I'm so grateful that I have a comfortable bed? So it's quite interesting, we don't think about happiness in this way. But what I realized back in Thailand was that sometimes it makes sense to purposely push yourself to experience less, to go through some pain in life, to toughen yourself up, because that's when you create that contrast that will allow you to appreciate more and to increase that baseline level of happiness. So for example, even right now, I'm here filming in Poland with my movie crew. It's amazing. I feel grateful for this. But I also thought about going to Ibiza to party. I had an offer to go to Bali. I would be surfing there, having a great time. But then I realized, you know what? Perhaps now is the time to sit here, spend some time with my family, enjoy those times, and appreciate this minimalism. Not going anywhere, not flying anywhere, just focusing on getting work done, living in the same place, eating the same meals every day. So then 1 or 2 months from now, when I go to that exotic location, I'm gonna appreciate it so much more, okay? So happiness can be hacked. And once again, everyone has this baseline level of happiness, but I believe that it can be hacked. Alright guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. To be totally honest, I just went with the flow. I didn't plan it, there are no bullet points, but I really find this concept fascinating. So it wasn't in the agenda for today, but we sat down here, I looked around, beautiful views, where we are in the forest, it's totally quiet, just peace and nature, and I started thinking about this concept of hedonic adaptation, of the fact that happiness comes from contrast, that it's cyclical, that there is not just one thing, one event that will increase your level of happiness forever. And I want to talk to you about it because I really believe that understanding this concept and implementing it in your everyday life can really make a difference. So as I said, I had situations back in my life when I stopped appreciating certain things, right? So I believe that there are 2 main takeaways. First of all, you gotta realize that happiness is cyclical, right? So instead of focusing on one big goal, focus on the journey as well. Make sure that you enjoy the journey, because there is not one thing that can possibly make you happy forever. It's normal and expected that you will go through ups and downs. So that's the first takeaway. And the second one is, I believe in purposely pushing yourself, to experience a little bit less in order to appreciate more, okay? That's one of my favorite hacks actually, and it's not easy, but it's very useful. So for example, when I go to Thailand, I like to attend Muay Thai camps, Thai boxing camps, and they are really difficult. And when I think about all that pain I'm gonna go through, I almost don't want to go there. But you see, I still push myself to attend those camps and train twice a day and feel that pain, because I know that when I get through that, I'm not gonna only become a better person and be more fit and have better skills, but also when I come out of that experience, I'm gonna appreciate everything so much more, all right? So apply it in your life. Also post a comment, post a discussion. Let me know what you think. I would really like to hear from you. All right, this is it, and I would like to wish you an amazing day.